Good morning and a warm welcome in third day of EFDP and ESTP. I Ms. Deepali Bhandari on behalf of Sir Dr. M.S. Gosavi, College of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Nasik. Heartily welcome today's speaker, Dr. Prabhanjan Giram, and all the delegates. Sir is Sir has pursued his B.Pharm in Pharmaceutical Sciences in 2007 to 2011 from Yash Institute of Pharmacy, Aurangabad. He did his Masters in Pharmaceutics in 2011 to 2013 from Government College of Pharmacy, Aurangabad. Sir is associated as Research Assistant at King's College, London, UK. Sir did his Doctor of Philosophy in Chemical Sciences in 2014 to 2019 from Pune, NCL. Sir has experience in 2000, currently working as 2000 from 2011 21 to present postdoctoral research associate NIH Fellow USA. Sir is adjunct professor in Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research, Pune. Sir has associated in 2019 to 2021 as assistant professor at D.Y. Patil Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Research. Sir was associated in 2018 to 2018 November as Newton Bhabha Fellow, Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences, King's College, London, UK. Sir has expertise in polymer synthesis and characterization, formulation development, nanofabrication with electrospinning, and photodynamic therapy. Sir has many awards and achievements. Some have listed here. He has awarded as Ratan Tata Trust Scholarship for excellent academic performance in 2009, AICT Fellowship Junior and Senior Research Fellow from CSIR New Delhi, Newton Bhabha Fellowship King's College London, and awarded as Udrajit Award of 2018 from Evonik Healthcare Germany of worth 1500 euro. He selected as Bentham Ambassador for Bentham Journals by Bentham Science Publishers and also selected for the Biorender Ambassador in at USA. Sir has published 9 research articles and 11 peer-reviewed publications in his credit and 22 review articles till date. He has patented two patents as a poly catalyzed by zinc prolinate and the stannous octet and toxicity study, and second one as the targeted delivery of ironotine PLGA nanoparticles to combat colon cancer. He received grants and also a membership as a secretary of NCL Tech Entrepreneur Club, lifetime member of NCL Tech, APTI, and member of International Society of Pharmaceutical Engineering India. He he as reviewer for the journals of MDPI, elsewhere American Chemical Society and Royal Society of Chemistry. I welcome you all the delegates and respected Sir Giram sir. I request you sir to please start the session.
Thank you, madam, for kind introduction. It is really pleasure and privilege to be here as a speaker for today's seminar, and I would like to thanks Gokule Education Society, Sir Dr. M.S. Gosavi College of Pharmaceutical Science and Education and Research for organizing such a EFDP and ESTP on effective research proposal and manuscript writing that is that is an need of our for today's uh, researcher students and academic faculties. So today I will talk about topic that is navigating plagiarism and copyright issues in the scientific writing and figures. So in today's talk, before starting to actual presentation, I want to emphasize on what actually evaluators looking from your research paper or your research proposal. Firstly, they will see, like, based on these five criteria, your research paper or your proposal is score That is, first one is the innovation. This is important criteria. Based on this criteria, your manuscript or proposal get evaluated. What kind of different innovation you are doing in your manuscript and your proposal. So before designing any proposal or any manuscript, you have to ready with your first aspect, that is innovation aspect. After innovation aspect, second one is the approach. What approach you are using in your innovation? If you propose one hypothesis, then you have to follow different approaches to fulfill different step of that hypothesis. Then third aspect is significance. What is significance of research proposal or manuscript you are working that is important for either society or scientific community? Then fourth one, that is environment, like in which environment you are working, that is also influencing evaluation of your manuscript and research proposal. And last one is evaluator. Which evaluator is going to evaluate your proposal or manuscript? So before writing any manuscript or any proposal, you have to think about this evaluation criteria to get maximum score for your manuscript and proposal, because you want your proposal should be selected, should get good score and similar criteria for your publications. So today I will talk about these things, that is ethics in the publication, plagiarism, copyright, how to create effective figures and outline for the manuscript writing. In scientific research, this scientific research involve implementation of particular study or particular idea, like design of particular your therapy or your approach to solve any specific problem. First, you have to select problem. Then there are different stages in this scientific research stages. That is, after selecting, you have to determine the research topic, which topic is important to fulfill your problem. Then selection of method, particular method selection for your research topic. For that problem, you have to select particular research method. You can select different sub method if that step is not working. Then data processing. After selection, you have to work on that method. Then you will get some data and you have to process that data, analyze. Most important problem here, after getting data, most of the time what happen, you will see most of the result you are looking for. You will say your compound is not showing particular activity, or you are not getting inhibition or complete cure of the tumor after your treatment. But at the same time, you have to think what is the observation you are getting, like different aspect, like what kind of tumor you are treating. If your tumor is hard to control, in that case you may not get good result. So you have to think or use your strategy for other alternative problem. Then writing and publishing article, because either in the scientific field or academic field, publishing and perishing is the ideal strategy, because people will evaluate or value you based on your publication. First criteria, you should publish in a good or high impact journal, but if that is not possible, in that case you have to publish at least satisfactory journal, but number should be higher. Then there is a new term for you, that is Scientology. That means science of science, that involve analysis of scientific paper. What does it mean? Like when you read 10 papers, then after reading 10 papers, you will think like 5 papers are saying like whether your drug is showing activity, but 5 papers are showing this receptor is not good for showing activity. So in that case, you have to digest this paper to understand the concept properly. And then citation in the scientific journal of selected paper. You have to do citation for that. Then indicator is used for evaluation of your scientific research, because based on quality, your language, your objective, your hypothesis, your scientific proposal or your research paper is going to be evaluated. Then another criteria, that is impact factor, citing of the article, citing of journal, and order of authorship. These are also most important aspect of the scientific research. Why these ethics are important in the scientific research? Because as a pharmacist or as a professional, we have to follow certain ethics, whether it is academia, industry. If you do not follow that ethics, that is considered as a serious ethical offenses. Ethical writing, that indicates documentation. If you write or cite particular article, if you take particular part from any specific journal, you have to cite that reference. You have to give creditability to that person, and you have to acknowledge at the same time. In that way, you are keeping your profession as well as professional ethics. Then importance of ethical base, that is not only upon the avoidance of plagiarism. Ethics means is not only plagiarism, but it considered as all aspects of the scientific research. It start from literature search, documentation of your literature properly, then collection of literature, then collection of different materials or excipients you need for your research article, then organizing these things with properly. Then next topic I will talk about plagiarism. Most of the time we will do some common mistakes. That is, we collect 10 or 5 paper on topics we want to write. Like if you want to write like antibiotics resistance, so we compile 5 paper, we write one paragraph, like just copy paste, and then we try to modify it. So this is not the proper way of writing, like presenting. That is just you are copying and paraphrasing this. So the best way to avoid the plagiarism is you have to understand the concept, or you have to understand area you are working on. So what is the best way to understand or learn about this area? You have to see who are the pioneer or big people in this field who invented this antibiotic resistance, or who are the researcher who are the leading in this antibiotic resistance. So if you read and digest this area, then you are taking this data easily to your topic, and in that way that will help to improve your writing. What are the consequences of this plagiarism? First is it destroy the reputation of the student. If you are student, if you are professional, in that case also it will destroy your reputation, and similarly for academia. Because if after publishing your paper, if it found as a plagiarize, there are certain journals which has criteria, they will reject or retract your paper after publication. And nowadays after publication, this retraction comes online, and if your papers are retracted, in that case These journals may ban your submission, so you cannot become author for any other scientific papers. Then there are different types of plagiarism, that is global plagiarism, like you are copying at global plagiarism, or backting plagiarism, like you are just collecting data and just you are modifying that. Then self plagiarism, like you are using your data that is not relevant and still you are adding that. Then paraphrasing, just change the meaning, because there are different softwares available nowadays like Quillbot, then Quillbot and other softwares like WordTune. So they will just change the meaning and you will think like you reduce plagiarism. But in that case, your scientific or technical content of your manuscript is significantly change. Then patchwork plagiarism, like you just want to replace some small word with particular researcher who written their uh, hypothesis. You may change little, and in that case, the meaning of that particular term coined by this researcher will get changed. So before moving to the types of plagiarism, I want to focus on the point. The major problem of plagiarism is you do not know or understand the problem. First, if you see more, if you know more, then you can write more. So, for that, you have to understand things properly. Most of the time, researcher or academic people will think they will complete or write their manuscript, and at the end they will try to minimize this plagiarism content, but at the end they will understand they are not able to remove this plagiarism, and they 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 are in the stress and frustration. So better way is just avoid plagiarism from first. If you follow standard practice of understanding topic and collecting point, the best way you should collect point and note down that point, and from that point you can write, and later you can shape and adjust based on that content. Then there are different types of plagiarism, like submitting someone else's work, which is just transcribed. Transcribe means, like if I mention paclitaxel prodrug is used for decreasing side effect, you are just saying these are used for lowering side effect. So this is not the way of cloning someone else's work. You can write in another way, like paclitaxel prodrug. When prodrugs are used by by decreasing its selectivity toward the cancer cell or normal cell, because these prodrug are decreasing the side effect. So you have to understand in depth. But if you do not know more about these prodrugs and these cancer immunity or these things, in that case you cannot frame the sentences properly. Then control C. This is most important types of plagiarism observed in the scientific community, that is just that contains single source, because you thought this information is very useful and you have only one paper available on this topic, so you just copy exact what is written in that document and you just try to change their meaning. Then find and replace, you will find synonym or antonym for that word and you try to change the sentences with paraphrasing. But in that case, at the end you will observe there is a complete change from scientific to non-scientific languages. Then remix, paraphrasing multiple source. You think like you have collected 5 paper, 3 line from first, 3 from second, that is called as remix. But in that case your flow is not efficient, because whether you write manuscript or whether you write any proposal, flow is very much important. In case of research paper, you have to convince your editor, you have to convince your reviewer, and this only possible when your research paper or your proposal has flow, like it should be like story or entertaining reader. Then only there are chances of acceptance of this paper and proposal. That is same, if you learn about how to write this research paper, then automatically you will become trained for writing proposal. Then recycle. In the recycle type of plagiarism, you will use your work that is already published and not cited. Then hybrid type of plagiarism, combine perfectly cited source with copied, that is without citation. Because nowadays lots of information, like some agencies, they will put on their site, like Center for Disease Control and Prevention. They will put statistics for this COVID-19 vaccine, how much patient survive or what is economic benefit. Then you will think these values or numbers are important. You will take this number from unpublished things and you will take few published things. In both cases, this result in the hybrid type of plagiarism. Then mash up it in all, blending the copied material which has taken from multiple sources. Just you will mix and you will try to make this mash up things. But instead of that, if you do cite individual source, either keep record in the notebook or Excel, like what kind of number you have taken from which source. In that case, there are chances of the minimizing plagiarism. Most of the time, you think you have cited properly, still you are having issue of plagiarism, but that is true, because although you cite properly, but there are certain guidelines or rules, like if you use more than 3 or 5 words consistent from any document, that is considered as a plagiarism. Then error means if you include quotation that is non-exist or inaccurate, in that case that is also considered as a plagiarism. Then aggregator, include proper citation of source, but it should contain almost nothing of their original work. Like if you just put quotation and that quotation is nothing to do with that text, that in that case that is also comes under plagiarism. Then retweet, this is most easiest approach, like include proper citation but with too much text used for original, and in that case chances of plagiarism are more, because if quotation or citation is for one paragraph, you will add different sentences in same paragraph and you will write citation, like you want to write paragraph 1, then you add 2 3, and instead of citing paragraph 1 you will cite paragraph 3. And but most important things to avoid this plagiarism is try to understand things as much as you can. You can imagine, you can see more about this topic and think what things are important. After reading, you can design, rewrite, and in that case, your flow will be improved. And with increasing flow, that becomes story. Most of the time, this plagiarism is also happens because you do not know how to write paragraph. How to write paragraph? In that case, paragraph means if you start paragraph, first sentence should be opening sentence. this sentence like opening of your paragraph, then sub paragraph. In that, this opening line should be followed by supporting sentences like 3 4 sentences, and then final sentence should be conclusion of this paragraph. But most of the time when I read paragraph, I do not see this starting line, this supporting sentences, and followed by what you want to say at the end, that is as a conclusion. And that's why most of the manuscripts or proposal get rejected. Then how to avoid plagiarism? First things I said, use paper and pen method. Try to collect small points from different resources, then write and rewrite, and I think this is most easiest way. In the paper, or a researcher who has written many paper will guide you to do these things like do citation, do quote, do paraphrasing, but I think these things will not work properly. So I will suggest the most important method if you want to write good research review or proposal, you have to use pen and paper method. Because with this method I have trained like master students, and I have observed there is a no plagiarism issue, like I have never checked plagiarism. But if you read this paper and if you try to do paraphrasing, quoting and citation, these things will not work because you are not actually writing these things. If you do copy and paste and then you do this paraphrasing and quotation and citation, in that case this funda will not work. Then citing your own material and references, these things also wastage of time. At the end you will become frustrated, like I have follow all the rules and regulations and good suggestion given by your either your teacher or research paper, or you have read on the how to write effective research paper or how to write avoid plagiarism. Like most of the time everyone writing paper knows about this tense of your review or research should be past tense, but still there are issue. Why this happens? Because you are not following proper method. Instead of reading how to avoid plagiarism, you should read how to write effective things to avoid this plagiarism. Just follow standard method and you will get maximum benefit. And steps for paraphrasing and how to read, like read paragraph. I think this will is good method. Read paragraph and note down what are important point in that paragraph, like that important point in the paragraph, like what is key point, like what message this paragraph want to deliver, that is called as take home message. Like that, if you collect this single take off message from this paragraph from 3 4 paper or 3 4 topics on the topics on the same area, then it will become one good effective paragraph. Then another step is second step is ask yourself what were the main ideas and detail in this paragraph. Like I said, you have to see or note like main things or main theme in that paragraph, what that researcher want to say, what is their main claim or main hypothesis. Put the main idea or detail, and if you write this main idea into your word for few paragraphs, then from these few paragraphs it will become one effective paragraph of your own word, but that is, I can say, that is like almost 0% plagiarism, and there is no need for you to check this plagiarism. Then, based on the sources, it is suggested you do references, you do citation, but I think these are not the ideal way to avoid plagiarism. Reference, then citation, which sources are used for references and citation, like there are different sources are available, but I think these concern are secondary. References you can do manually, but first things you have to overcome, that is avoid plagiarism by understanding as much as you can, and then you will be become effective writer. So to summarize this plagiarism aspect for writing any research paper or proposal, I want to say first, like you have to follow innovation approach, significance, evaluator, and environment. Then, instead of thinking about plagiarism, how to avoid, I would suggest think other way. Just understand, read as much as you can about your topic, then collect essential important key points and convert these key points into paragraph, and this paragraph become page, and if this paragraph is converted to your effective papers. But this is just one concern about this plagiarism, but you have to make your paper proposal effective or more communicative. How you can make your paper or your proposal more talkative? By using different figures and tables. So how to use more effective figures? Like there are different softwares are available. Sometime I observe like researcher will collect some images from Google, they will copy and they will add few sentences, they will add in the paint, and they make as a graphical abstract or images for paper. But I think this is not effective way of communicating your ideology or science. So these are few softwares, these are freely available, like CameDraw. There are different crack version of this CameDraw are available. Then BioRender, I think this is also available, but for subscription, if you take student version, like $10 or $15, this is free for 1 month, and you can draw as much as images possible. Nowadays, this BioRender become more popular. There are demos are available for this. If you sign, you will see how user friendly are these two CameDraw and BioRender software. Then Origin, this is also used for drawing scientific data, like if you are using DSC and these images. Then again ImageJ, like if you want to calculate some area or granularity, then convert image into quantitative data. In that case, ImageJ is used. If you see features of this CameDraw, initially this CameDraw is invented for researcher as a chemical tool to draw chemical reaction and synthesis. Most of the time, if you hear the word CameDraw, then you will think like CameDraw involve writing of the drawing of the chemical structure, but that is not true. There is a recent advancement in this CameDraw. They added different versions like user friendly things like BioDraw. So you can see in BioDraw here there are different organelle, so you can use that. You can design cell membrane here, you can design bond, different size, shape, different arrow, and that is not comes under any copyright and anything because you have designed that. Then if you are adding any chemical structure or chemical reaction, I will suggest draw structure in ChemDraw. Most of the time I observe like research paper, structure is copied from Google or Wikipedia. But in that case, the quality of image is questionable and most of the journal has copyright issue. Then you can see there are different features for there to arrange. Like if you want to predict, if you draw the structure and if you want to predict their H1NMR, C13NMR, you will easily get with this ChemDraw. Like you will clean up your structure easily. Then if you put your name like glucose, you will get structure of glucose. So this much easier. And this structure has good quality. You can see like their stereochemistry. But if you copied from any unauthenticated source, that is comes under plagiarism. So ChemDraw images, see these images. You can color your structure with a different color to demonstrate the images. Like see here, I have this photosensitizer blue that is attached with this prodrug paclitaxel, and it has this red linker. You can see this red linker that is cleavable. Then again I have this PEG spacer here, and again this folic acid. So in this way it is communicating, easy to understand and follow. Then see here this synthesis scheme. Like you can make easiest changes, then you can highlight these colors with this ChemDraw. And then another one is the biorender. So nowadays for making figures, the most widely used software is biorender. If you see this biorender, you will understand from these images. Like here, you will directly take this particular virus, particular nanoparticle into your slide, and they just you have to organize these small images, and that will become your good effective communicating images. If you open this, you can see like cell structure. There are more than 1,000 cell structure, epithelium, then lab and lab objectives. Different instruments are available. Then nucleic acid, protein, lipids, carbohydrate, graphs and symbols, and cell types like all innate immune cell, adaptive immune cell, cancer cell, neutrophil, all cells, all things are available here. You just need to select and add to your slide to create effective image. Then chemistry, there are some chemical structures are also available. Human anatomy, all anatomies of all individual organ and body of human and animal, that covers under this human anatomy. Then membranes, there are different membranes, cellular membranes, different barrier like blood brain barrier and other all, GIT barrier or intestinal barrier, all are these available here. Then all species, they have covered all species that can be used for your image creation. So here you can see this MSC class 2 and this is interferon. These two bind with the help of these things, and then this neutrophil and some cells, either neutrophil this macrophage is activated macrophage either killing or presenting antigen. So here you just need to select this image, so it will come here. Similar you can see different cycles, like you can show here, just select which image you need, cells, and see these types of images are created by combining small element from individual component. See, these images are created in the biorender. So just you have to log in and practice as much as you can. So you can see how talkative and communicating your images in the biorender. Similarly, here this is Jablonski diagram, like explaining this, like excitation of photosensitizer and how this cause apoptosis and necrosis. You just need to put term like necrosis, it will give this cell, like apoptosis, you will give this. So similarly, if you are working on anti-cancer agents, you can you can add different cell, and after this agents act on cancer cell, you can show it causing apoptosis and necrosis. Here if you are using any animal model, you can show, select this animal, different syringes like illumination, injection. Similarly, if you are working on wound healing model, you can create wound and you can show different pictures with that. See these images, like if you want to show that your tumor is heterogeneous, you can see. If you want to see, show like tumor microenvironment, you can see here, like there is a tumor microenvironment. So I think everything or every image, it is possible to design with the help of this biorender. So another most important thing is origin. I think that is mostly used for creating images for data like DSC, XRD, wide angle, these types of data that are designed with the help of origin. I think these images are not visible here. I have some images from Origin Pro, but I think that's fine. So another, so here to summarize these images, how to draw effective images, I would suggest just install this CamDraw or log in with your biorender. If you try or practice more, you will get habituated and you will design good and more innovative images by using these two softwares, and that are not come under plagiarism, because you are drawing your images on the paper and that images you are developing in this software. That's why these are not comes under copyright law. And another topic that I will cover, like copyright. Like most sometimes you just want to take images, you do not want to make yourself. In that case, there are copyright law. So in that case, you will easily get your images. What is copyright? This is legal right for owner. That is comes under intellectual property right. And if you take images without permission, that comes under this copyright law, and that is also valuable. So how to take permission for figure? Like there are common creative licenses here, like this link is there. So for that, you just need to click that link, and then you need to see, like just get permission. So next slide you can see, if you want to take permission for this figure, like here most of the time in paper you see this tab, request reprint or check content availability and request permission. So you have to collect for that request permission, then you have to fill this form, like which journal you want to publish, which is you will get this form, and it will give you permission, like permission license, like you are permitted for this copyright for this particular image and figure, and in that case you can directly copy and paste, and you have to just give citation for that images. So this is also good way. There are certain softwares are used for checking plagiarism, like Turnitin, Authenticate, and Plagiarism Detector. But I think no need to check plagiarism. I would suggest first try to learn more and understand and write in your own language, design your word, your lines, your paragraph, and there will be no need for you to go for plagiarism check. Like nowadays you will see this problem, like you will send your paper from plagiarism check and you will get this type of thing, then you try to change the meaning of these sentences to avoid plagiarism. Ideally here you should go to this reference 3 or reference 12, understand and rewrite completely this paragraph. In that case your plagiarism become less, but most of the time people will not follow this strategy. They will directly think how I can reduce this plagiarism without going to their original reference. Then you will see this kind of report. Then you will think just minimize first 5 tab, like 1 2 3 3 3, so that will become 12. So 12% plagiarism will be reduced and my article will be accepted. And you will change only paraphrasing, like whatever I said. The ways to avoid plagiarism, like do not do paraphrasing, do not change meaning, do not go for synonyms or antonyms or these things. But in that case your paper or your grant will become accepted. But this is not ideal way, because here by doing this paraphrasing and changing the meaning of this word, you will lose the quality of your manuscript or yourself, because in scientific community people will judge or value you based on your writing. So that's why do not do the paraphrasing or these things. Then how to prepare the outline for the manuscript or review. So these are the ways you observe in the community, like there should be title, there should be keyword, there should be abstract, graphical abstract, method and result. But first thing is you have to think in innovative way, like topic you are thinking to work on should be ideal or authenticate. Why people will read your article? So you have to ask that question. There should be need, there should be hypothesis, like then only that article become popular and that will acceptable in the journal. The first criteria, what is need? Before selecting any topic you have to see what is rational, what is selling point, why you want to write on that topic as a review. Most of the time I observe people will see, like just if someone publish review on degradation and assessment of stability, so I will write review on that topic. But you have to think like that should be your review should address some question and some background information, and will give some future prospect, like what will happen to degradation and stability assessment method in the future? Are there any new method? If this new method comes, how that will help or that will solve your problem in your community? Then, so first topic we have seen what is plagiarism, how to avoid plagiarism, not just to do paraphrasing and avoid these things, but instead of that, I will suggest write your article effectively without any plagiarism or unethical issue. Just try, learn, and write. Then you have to see flow, you have to check flow, and you have to write and rewrite many times. And I think that is true for proposal also. Then after writing, you have to add some background information. So in that case, this drawing of images with different software will be helpful for you. And at the same time, at the end, if you need, you can take some images from literature available, and that will decorate your either proposal or research grant. And ethics in scientific writing is major concern, but we have to address this issue to improve our science and our standard. So thank you for your patience and valuable time. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, sir. So there are a few questions in the chat box. Can we go for this?
Yes, yes.
So Hemant Chikle sir asking, what are the freely available online software to check the plagiarism?
I think there are no free softwares, but you can check your content for plagiarism. Like if you in Google a link, if you put free check plagiarism, you can easily check that one. But instead of using free online software for checking plagiarism, I would suggest, if you follow these things, like if you write in your word or your language by understanding these things, I think in that case there is a no need for going to check your plagiarism.
Thank you, sir. So I have one question. Is there any need to plagiarize the table or figures which are drafted in ICH guidelines or WHO guidelines? So is there any need?
Yes, if you think you can do that and you can cite that properly. But yes, if that it is based on information, if that information is that valuable, that will add quality to your paper or your proposal, in that case you can do that. But if it do not add any value, then do not need to add these things unnecessary.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable knowledge. You take your valuable time to interact with us. Sir highlighted many aspects of plagiarism and copyright issues in the scientific writing. Also, he mentioned scientific research stages, analysis of paper, importance of ethics. Sir, your suggestions definitely encourages to publish the paper in good impact factor journal. Thank you so much, sir, for your guidance. So I here conclude that session is over. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, please accept our certificate as a token of love and appreciation.
Thank you,
Thank you,
madam.
sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.